Hey, Sarah, thanks for taking the meeting. I had a client reached out to me, an ERISA question about a bond. I can't spell ERISA. What can you tell me? Does that sound familiar to you?
It's very familiar, Doug. ERISA, just so you know, don't feel bad about not spelling it.
Yeah.
It's an acronym for the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. The bond they're talking about presumably is the Fidelity Bond that's required for any plan, any retirement plan holding plan assets. And the rule is that the plan sponsor or anybody having any kind of responsibility for those assets must be bonded in amounts equal to 10% of the plan assets, up to $500,000. So, for example, if your client in this case has, let's say, $20 million in plan assets, that exceeds the 500,000 amount, so they have to be bonded up to 500,000. 10% of that 18 million exceeds 500,000, so they have to have a bond in place equal to $500,000. And one of the confusing things about the Fidelity Bond is a lot of plan sponsors think this protects the plan assets from any kind of issue, and it's really limited. It's only in the event of theft or fraud. So on top of the required ERISA bond, we often recommend a fiduciary liability insurance bond for the plan, which protects plan fiduciaries in the event that there's a breach in their fiduciary duty. So there are a couple of different bonds that could apply to ERISA plans, but the one I think you're talking about is the required Fidelity Bond.
All right. And in terms of if they would not have that or report somewhere they don't have it, what happens then?
Yeah. There's on the Form 5500, which is an annual return of an employee benefit plan. There's a question: does this plan have a Fidelity Bond in place? Most plan sponsors do have that bond in place, and they would select yes and how much the bond is worth. If no is selected, I do believe that could trigger a Department of Labor audit because it is a basic requirement of any ERISA employee benefit plan. So any plan sponsor that's selecting no to that question should check with its insurance broker, make sure it does have a bond, and make sure it doesn't select no going forward. Or puts a bond in place quickly so it can select yes going forward.
In addition to this bond question, can you review the rest of their plan and documents to make sure everything's in shape?
Absolutely.
Right. And how can I tell them to get in touch with you?
I'm available by email, ski@saxtonstump.com, or usually my cell is best because I travel between offices, 610-743-0115.
That's easy enough. Ski at Saxton Stump.
It is.
Sarah, thank you so much.
Sure,
I'll let them know. Take care.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.